The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Good evening and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. I'm Ramiko Knowles. Happy Majority Rule. Topping news tonight, the Ministry for Grand Bahama staging a special Majority Rule ceremony this morning honoring heroes and heroines that played a role in the island's historical events and national accomplishments of gender equality, equal rights, women voting, and more. The Minister for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Ginger Moxey, was the keynote speaker, and that's not all. She and her team gave those in attendance a beautiful surprise, an exhibition that brought some of these historical events back to life. Jolanda Thompson-Everest reports.
The Ministry of Grand Bahama celebrating the local foot soldiers of the country in honor of Majority Rule Day. A special ceremony being held outside of the Harold de Gregory building, where the Minister of Grand Bahama, the Honorable Ginger Moxey, recognizing 30 pioneers and thanking them for their commitment toward transforming the political landscape of Grand Bahama.
And that speaks a lot to the community that we have.
Inside the foyer of the Harold de Gregory building, decorated in black and white photos of the father of the nation, Sir Lynden Pinlin, the country's first prime minister, as well as those who fought for women's rights to vote, labor laws, and Majority Rule Day.
We stand on the shoulders of the pioneers who leveled the playing field for the generations that followed. They were heroes, heroines, and foot soldiers from New Providence, Grand Bahama, and islands throughout the Bahamas.
Minister Moxey declaring those that were responsible for change in the country were advocates and forces behind many historical events. She explains that the ceremony and exhibition demonstrates just that.
They were advocates for change and the forces behind the Burma Road riot in 1942, the labor movement in the 1950s, the women's suffrage movement in 1951, the formation of the Progressive Liberal Party in 1953, the general strike in 1958, the right for women to vote in a general election in the Bahamas for the first time in 1962, and Black Tuesday in 1965.
But for today's honorees, she also says that these pioneers are people with a special, memorable, and timeless story that includes their journey to not only creating a future for the next generation, but a nation that epitomizes the strength of Bahamians.
These wonderful storytellers provide us with a snapshot of the history of Grand Bahama. In their stories about life in West End, in the 1930s and 40s, the original settlement of Pine Ridge in the 1950s, the development of the city of Freeport, growing up in Pindus Point, Old Freetown, and more.
Although 30 persons were recognized this morning, the ministry will be honoring several more at a later date. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Jolanda Thompson-Everest.
Thanks, Jolanda. And in observance of Majority Rule Day, local administrators and residents were in attendance at the Ministry for Grand Bahama's Majority Rule ceremony and exhibition to celebrate those recognized and honored for their commitment towards historical movements in the 1990s. The attendees also got a chance to tour an exhibition that displayed the labor movement, Black Tuesday, the women's suffrage, which all demonstrated the significance of Majority Rule Day.
Guided tour by Mr. Cooper. He was very informative, taking us from the 1950s to the present day and time. The highlight for me was the actual television in the back, which gives different highlights and video clips of the different moments.
It really depicts the real time from the 1940s, 50s, 60s, 70s, straight up to the day. And it's indicative that a lot of work would have been put into it, and we have a rich history that we ought to be proud of.
I'm very, very pleased about Majority Rule Day, because what Majority Rule speaks to the fact that when a group of people get together, we can do anything when we're united in cause. And so it speaks to the fact that, you know, we have struggles, but overcoming it is a group project.
We as a people have grown and developed ourselves as a country. There's a lot more to be done, but we have done it. We've stayed stable. We've stayed rational and reasonable as a people.
The attendees deeming the ceremony an emotional experience, reminding them of how hard their forefathers and mothers fought for the nation to be united as one today. The honorees were also moved by their recognition and surprised that their work in the country have not been forgotten.
All them years, I put my heart and soul in the country and didn't know they was watching me for service. 30 years at the Rand Memorial, police all my life, and the community, the union, Bahamas Hotel and Catering, Civil Service Union, Mr. Alexander Burrows, and
I feel blessed. I'm very happy to know that my name has went down for a majority rule today. When I look around and I can see that God has been faithful. He has been good to us. And we have come from a mighty long way.
Now the exhibition will remain in the foyer of the Harold de Gregory until Friday for your enjoyment. In other news, over 100 individuals are now facing unemployment following the closure of Pharmachem Technologies. The Ministry for Grand Bahama, along with officials from the Department of Labor have taken steps to assist these employees. However, lingering questions remain about the causes for the closure and whether the affected individuals will receive severance packages. Tonight, the Director of Labor is responding to those concerns.
Pharmachem would have given notice to the government sometime last month regarding these proposed restructuring and termination.
Under the employment law, any company seeking to downsize by 20 or more employees is legally obligated to provide notice to the minister responsible for labor, according to Howard Thompson, the Director of Labor. He further discloses that their department and the government were aware of Pharmachem Technologies' closure before the public announcement, and a high-level meeting was held.
I would say this, that the discussion with them over the weekend was very productive. And I would also go as far as to say that in my research and dealing and conversation with the executives, Pharmachem has been a good corporate citizen of Grand Bahama for many, many years, and I expect them to do right by their former employees.
Severance packages for the 140 employees now facing unemployment were a part of the discussions during that meeting.
What I understand from that conversation is that all of the employees' entitlement and benefits under the employment laws of the Bahamas will be adhered to and will be recognized, and they will be paid out in accordance with their redundancy payments. And I have every confidence in Pharmachem that they will follow through on that.
However, in the aftermath of the closure, employees have alleged that they have not received their full redundancy package. Thompson responds by stating that although he is not aware of such cases, he assures that he will investigate the matter.
No doubt the Minister for Grand Bahama and my Minister of Labor will be very, very concerned if that is the case, that persons have not been fully compensated under the laws of the Bahamas, because we were reassured during those conversations on the weekend that aspect of the termination was secured.
In terms of offering assistance to these employees, he says the department has access to a skilled bank, and they encourage those who were laid off to sign up with them.
Assist employees with filling certain employment needs in their organization. So I'd encourage anyone who's been terminated or let go during this downsizing process to please contact the Department of Labor, and we'll assist with whatever needs or concerns that you may have. That's what the Department of Labor is there for.
Well, there was an island-wide power outage during the early morning hours that impacted the entire island of Grand Bahama. The Grand Bahama Power Company immediately issued a statement on their social media pages addressing the power outage that came as a result of a fault to their energy center during the passing of a severe weather system. Director of Communications at the Grand Bahama Power Company, Cleopatra Russell, gave us this update on the power restoration.
We had all of our teams dispatched to the energy center. Shortly thereafter, we would have begun active restoration efforts. Once safety checks were complete, our teams began the process of bringing our energy plant back online, and then first making the effort to restore the critical services such as the Rand Memorial Hospital and the Central Police Station. Shortly before 4 a.m., we were able to successfully restore the downtown area and the surrounding areas, making our restoration efforts east towards Sweetings Key. We were complete with that at about 4:30, 4:45. Shortly thereafter, at about 5:15, we were able to restore the industrial area and the western end of the island.
The communications director says that the fault to the generator has since been repaired, resulting in full restoration for residents and businesses.
Our team will work to assess the root cause of the outage and ensure that we make any necessary corrective actions that are necessary. We want to thank the public for their patience this morning and understanding, and apologize for the inconvenience caused.
Switching gears now, the Obadiah Wilshcombe complex has now been open for 2 months, housing government agencies from the police station, road traffic department, the Department of Immigration, the Labor Board, just to name a few. The agencies welcoming the new year at their new office. However, the road traffic department states one issue: residents are not utilizing the complex as they should. Jolanda Thompson-Everest fills us in.
It's been a cry of residents in the Western District for decades, essential government services to be made accessible to that community. With the opening of the Obadiah H. Wilshcombe complex in November, the Road Traffic Department is amongst those placed to alleviate the burden of motorists traveling to Freeport. The officer in charge of road traffic, Delarice Pratt, is welcoming more residents to take advantage of their services.
The office here, we offer registration of vehicles that includes private vehicles, as well as a few renewals of public service vehicles.
Pratt also adding that the particular location also renews general licenses.
When residents do come here, you are welcome into a warm, friendly environment where the staff is rather efficient, and welcoming to all. We have a complement of about 5 persons, including myself, whereas we do inspections of vehicles also at this office.
Pratt stating that traffic has been slow since their opening, and she believes that residents are not aware of their operating hours. She also notes that the location is very convenient for residents within the community.
It's right in the new Obadiah Wilshcombe complex, right across from one of the main I would say location where persons reside, which is Pinedale and Hannah Hill, and Jonestown is not too far. It's convenient because it's in the middle of the settlement, 8 Mile Rock.
Pratt says operating hours are from Monday to Friday at 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. However, doors are closed at 4 p.m. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Jolanda Thompson-Everest.
Well, when we come back, hear the remarkable story of the moments leading up to majority rule by a man who lived through it all. That story, sports, and more when the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, continues.
You asked for it, you've got it. A new plant nursery, fully loaded with everything you need. And extended hours, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturdays, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
List your home in Grand Bahama with H.G. Christie. Visit their new office in the Port Lucaya Marketplace. H.G. Christie, celebrating over 100 years of service.
With over 30 years of service with integrity, services in Abaco, New Providence, and Grand Bahama, providing modern and state-of-the-art equipment, specializing in the maintenance and operation of waste treatment plants, waste oil movement, sludge extraction, tank cleaning, elite portable toilets, and hand wash stations. We are efficient, reliable, and cutting edge. We are B&B Galaxy.
To Freeport, the reawakened, the reimagined, the rebirth, the Renaissance capital of the Bahamas. Over $1.5 billion in investments. Marinas, cruise ports, downtown revitalization, potential developments. We're putting the city on the map. Want to know more? Just log on. Your future is only a click away.
Have you ever wondered how electricity gets to your home? Let's start at the beginning. Our teams at our energy plant work around the clock to generate power to be delivered to your home or business. When it leaves the generating facility, electricity first travels to a switch yard that increases the voltage to allow it to travel long distances throughout the island. A network of high voltage transmission lines is the backbone of the electric grid and is used to carry large amounts of electricity across long distances. After completing the first leg of this journey, electricity arrives at the neighborhood substation. The substation's job is to lower the voltage before power can be sent over shorter distances closer to homes and businesses. Once lowered, the electricity is now ready for the final leg of its voyage. When it leaves the substation, it travels along the distribution poles and wires, the ones you see every day around your community. Just outside your home or business, the electricity voltage is further reduced by a pole mount transformer to a level that customers use in their homes or businesses. And now that the electricity has finally reached its destination, it travels through a meter, flows to a service panel, and then to the outlets inside your home.
Your #1 news team covering the North. Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. Well, today the country pauses to celebrate Majority Rule Day. The Majority Rule movement marks a significant moment in history, signaling the promise of equality for all Bahamians. As we delve into the transformative journey towards self-governance in this first installment, our Raven Davis engages in a profound conversation with Majority Rule historian Fred Moss, who presents a first-hand account of this significant event.
To an exploration of Bahamian history, where each step echoes the journey to majority rule. In this first installment, we speak to Fred Moss, who unravels a first-hand account of the majority rule movement in the Bahamas.
There was a sense of stillness, I can recall, almost as if a chilly calm that we knew something was dangerous about to happen, but you couldn't put your finger on it. As you look at the line of black Bahamians and underprivileged whites that were on the line going to cast their votes, there was a steely determination they had in their eyes that says, we're doing something. I don't know what, but I can't figure what it is, but we're doing something. And that evening, about 7, 8 o'clock, we all assembled to the various headquarters. And then the counts started coming in via radio. We took note as it got progressively longer into the evening that a change had taken place. And then a sense of jubilation actually took place. Why? The count showed that the Progressive Liberal Party was about 1,000 or more votes ahead of the then UBB party. For the first time, we had a black majority rule government. So we saw the sense of apartheid, the fact that we can now go in simply as going to a theater like the Savoy, which was on Bay Street, or going inside a bank. When you add it all up, that sums up what majority rule meant.
I want you to talk about how you think the establishment of majority rule in the long term has impacted the country just socially, politically. How have we advanced because of majority rule?
Well, once you would have had hoteliers, Bahamian hoteliers, only being able to assess jobs such as domestics. And if you're lucky, security guard. Forget being food and beverage directors and general managers and the rest. You have women coming to the forefront in education. the doctors, the lawyers, the whatever discipline you could find, well, that's all because of, as small as it may seem to you now, Bahamianization.
Look at where we are. How do you think the younger generations perceive or understand the significance of majority rule?
They don't. In the main, most of them don't understand because they don't know. And most of them don't know because the parents, for the most part, and the Bahamas, for the most part, has been an oral tradition. We don't write.
A nation advancing toward greater prosperity, once underprivileged Bahamians embracing newfound opportunities and equality.
Well, when I pass that Bahamian passport to a chap, whether it's in the United States or someplace else, you know that represents Bahamian. I am somebody. I'm not a subject of anyone. I am a Bahamian citizen. I don't take it lightly.
Well, as the nation celebrates Majority Rule Day, a number of schools in West Grand Bahama recently hosting special assemblies in celebration of the landmark occasion. Council member for the West Grand Bahama District Council, Roy Brown, voices it's one of the most important holidays to celebrate and also gives the future of tomorrow a glimpse of an important time in our history.
Majority Rule was a key time for Bahamians and the Bahamas, and I think the younger kids need to understand the importance of that, where we came from. It's important for us to know our history, and with that, and being able to equip the younger children in our schools throughout West Grand Bahama, I think that's important for them to at least have an appreciation for where we came from and set the course for where they want to be as the future leaders of our country.
As students rendered special pieces highlighting the March to Freedom, Lady Loretta Jones, who was fully entrenched in that movement, shared some of the struggles that Black Bahamians went through. Thanks to the efforts of the late Right Honorable Sir Lyndon Pinley, she encouraged the young students to stand steadfast in what they believe in.
Always believe in the right thing. Always do the right thing. Always believe in the thing was gonna bring you straight up and you'll stand forever. Choose the right thing, okay? Trust in God, choose Him, and He will direct your path because God is a man. He is great. He is great, great.
Well, track season is officially here. Our Jay Philippe gives us the rundown next in sports.
Good evening, ladies and gents. I'm Jay Philippe, and welcome to sports on this Majority Rule holiday. We have a whole lot of sports for you. Let's get right into it. The start of the track season begins at the end of the month. A number of athletes from Heath Athletics going into the season with high expectations.
The season just started, but the way you're feeling so far, I feel like I can do way better than last year. Because so far, when I was in Ohio, my time started dropping. And I feel good about making the national teams this year.
My expectations is to run, hopefully at the end of my season, of 53, 52. But I just been really working hard. I feel very excited. I feel very determined because I've been working really hard with Coach Ingram on the off season, and I just look forward to a very great season with a free injury.
I expect to do great. I want plenty of competition actually to go international. Run with the States and represent the Bahamas. Probably make a rough toes, not. As a trainer, the regular short distance running, like 1,200, 2,000 was not the prepare for my big races, but I normally run.
This year, I just go on in the mindset of just giving my all in practice and just performing to the best of my abilities, working hard, and just PRing, doing good times. Going into the season, I plan to get out hard and have rhythm in between the hurdles, attack the hurdles, and have a strong finish.
From the track to the pool, another swimmer in Helsinki. Mitchell is also preparing to travel next week with Mako Aquatic Swim Club, where they will be competing in South Florida.
Hey, we're good. We're mostly working on endurance and underwaters, things like that, and sprints too. We also been working on technique, and every day we do at least 8 50s of drill, freestyle drill, so we could get our technique right. I've been trying my hardest to train and not missing days if I don't need to.
Now in hoops, Buddy Hield and the Indiana Pacers will be back in action once again tonight. The 21 and 15 Pacers will host the 6 and 30 Washington Wizards at 7 p.m. And in college hoops, Coach Joanna Ole Miss Lady Rebels is scheduled to take on Auburn University tomorrow in conference play. The Rebels has an 11-4 overall record with a 1-1 conference record. And that's a quick check on sports, ladies and gents. I'm Jay Philippe. As always, be blessed.
Unwind every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday from 5 to 7 p.m. at the Prop Club at the Grand Lucayan Hotel. Enjoy tasty food specials on draft beers and house specialty pizzas. The Prop Club, the best place to meet friends and enjoy happy hour.
If you're tired of looking the same, yeah, you ain't got to complain, no. You know where to go and you know what to do. You can find it here. We got the best in men's world. Come on, let our friendly stuff help you. Hey, come on and shop. See what this client man's got. Yeah, we got it all for you.
In Grand Bahama, our lamp just got brighter. Introducing Lamp Ultimate. From unlimited urgent care visits.
So we're just going to give you some oxygen.
To unlimited primary care visits.
How can we help today?
From unlimited x-rays to unlimited ultrasounds.
My baby!
And spend no more than $40 on non-specialty medication. Lamp Ultimate is the affordable healthcare plan that you've been dreaming of. And it's only available at Doctors Hospital in Grand Bahama.
Health officials announced early on that the curve of the fourth wave has been flat.
Stand by, talent. 2 and cue.
We have a dynamic team of diverse, enthusiastic journalists committed to uncovering the truth and delivering it with zeal and integrity.
Interpol confirms that the victim's body was found by an individual who was involved in the search.
We tell the heartwarming tales of resilience and success, from local politics to cultural events. We have it covered. We have Azure coming live from Bimini tonight for our top story. We are your trusted source in the North. We are ZNS Northern Edition.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Ron Jones, you are our Facebook friend of the day. We thank you so much for your support, and we also want to say a special happy birthday to you, as well as to Paula Wildgoose, the grandmother of our good friend here in the North, Lucas. I hope that he treated you well on your birthday. And that concludes the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. On behalf of the entire ZNS News team here in the North, I'm Ramiko Knowles. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to stay tuned. The Bahamas Tonight continues.
Tonight, the National Report, a stern message on Majority Rule Day. CB Moss still recovering, a hot debate, and in sports, Lions roar in high school basketball. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report starts now. everyone. I'm LaDawn Davis, and happy Majority Rule Day to all of you. This is the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Thanks so much for tuning in. Today is one of the most important national events in the country's history, Majority Rule Day. It's a day that ushered in and symbolizes equality for all Bahamians. Carla Palmer reports on this year's ecumenical service at Zion Baptist Church.
Ever since Majority Rule Day officially became a holiday in 2014, the church service in recognition has always been purposed in scripture and songs of praise. The service highlights with gratitude, deep appreciation and celebration those few who stood on behalf of the majority of Bahamians in the fight for equality, freedom and justice in the areas of political, social, constitutional, cultural and economic rights. Senior pastor of New Destiny Baptist Church, president of the Bahamas Christian Council, Bishop Delton Fernanda, lauded these heroes for uplifting the Bahamian people and advancing the country.
They did not put personal ambition before the common good of our country. They knew that the titles and the positions were not what they were after. But what they wanted to do was make a difference in their generation, that when times in the history of the Bahamas is written, that they could be able to be declared that they did the best they could.
Senior pastor of Zion Baptist Church, Reverend T.G. Morrison, delivered the sermon. He called for a recalibration of our country as he implored leaders to do more to address crime, immigration, and other social ills while devising a national policy to further promote the country.
One does not have to be a social scientist to see that our country is seething right now. And unless we have the will to arrest the problem, something cataclysmic is going to happen, and all of us will regret it in the years to come.
Following the church service as tradition, a wreath is laid here in St. Agnes Cemetery at the gravesite of the late Right Honorable Sir Lyndon Pinling, considered instrumental in the forefront of majority rule.
The sacrifice. Yes. I told us Lyndon Pinling forgot all about me and my children. Because at that stage in our development, I was having children then, raising a family. So I was not out there and everything, but I was there when the important times came along to back up for more power.
Bahamians from all walks of life are being called on to commemorate Majority Rule Day as it benefits us all. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Carla Palmer.
The Progressive Liberal Party gathering at its party's headquarters for a special ceremony to mark majority rule. Prime Minister and party leader, the Honorable Philip Davis, paid tribute to founding father, the late Sir Lyndon Pinling, and other party officials who helped to bring the country to that event in history. However, Mr. Davis reminded that the day transcends politics and instead is a day meant to be celebrated and cherished by all Bahamians.
While we can and should be very proud of the historic, fundamental role the Progressive Party played in achieving majority rule, the importance and the promise of majority rule belong to all Bahamians, not just the PLP. Indeed, majority rule stands for the unassailable principle that every Bahamian, irrespective of background, race, or gender, has the right to have a voice in shaping the destiny of our nation.
Its observances carry significance for the Bain and Grantstown Community Association. For years, had pushed and advocated for the historic day to be memorialized as a national holiday. In the lead up to that, each year the organization held observances and constantly reminded the public of its significance in the country's development. Reverend C.B. Moss says it's a day that all Bahamians should hold dear.
Majority Rule Day was the day through an election that the majority of Bahamians took control of their own destiny. And I am delighted to have been a very, very significant part of that event, because it freed us in many ways from bondage. And for that, we should like to give God thanks and praise.
At last year's Majority Rule church services at St. Agnes Anglican Church, Reverend Moss suffered a serious health setback. He collapsed and was later hospitalized in serious condition. Fortunately, Reverend Moss is recovering, and while he is still on the mend, he is grateful to be here this Majority Rule Day.
And I thank all of the well-wishers and supporters in the Bahamas for their prayers and other forms of support, as we are nearly there, but we still have a ways to go.
And still to come, the Alphas host a hot debate. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report.
This portion of the news is brought to you by FoCall Smart Pass, the smart way to pay at the pump.
You have enough things to worry about. Living in a world that can seem opposite of the things you are trying to accomplish.
I can need a little help with this month's business.
We're here to let you know that you don't have to go at it alone. Choose peace of mind. Choose comfort. Choose CB. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
Since they're on sale, Max bought things neither he nor his friend really needed. Hungry for deals? Come to KFC to satisfy your hunger before doing something crazy. Our new 6-piece value deal is packed with 6 pieces of your favorite fried chicken, 3 orders of crispy fries, and 3 buttery biscuits, all for just $20. You work hard for your money. Get the biggest bang for your taste buds. Satisfy your taste buds with KFC. It's finger-licking good.
Disney Cruise Line is back in the community, spreading cheer this holiday season. From Eleuthera, where Disney is creating its second island destination, Disney Lookout Key at Lighthouse Point, to Nassau and Abaco, where many of our Castaway Key crew members call home. Our volunteers are creating magical experiences and memorable moments for local children. Disney Cruise Line is committed to supporting youth initiatives in the Bahamas and creating lasting, positive impact in the communities we call home.
Happy holidays! The POP Conference returns January 10th through 14th with special guest speakers Bishop Lambert Gates from Indiana, Indianapolis, Bishop Rudolph McKissick from Jacksonville, Florida, Pastor Tolan Morgan from Detroit, Michigan, and from Washington, D.C., Minister Stephen Hurd. Special guest artists include Miranda Curtis, Melvin Crispell III, Leandria Johnson, and our special guest for a midnight pop-up, Todd Galberth and Ty Trebet. Pop Conference 2024. See you there.
We know how important collecting your money can be to the success of your business. Start your relationship with Fidelity today so that we can show you the many options available to you with our merchant services. From click and pay options online to merchant terminals and e-commerce options. We're here to help your business succeed. For more details, speak to one of our business development officers at 356-7764 in Nassau or 352-6676 in Freeport. Visit our website at fidelitygroup.com or visit any of our branches.
Are you or a loved one under medical care? Do you need affordable medical supplies? Ports International is the largest home health care supplier. Medical supplies at the very best price, and you can even shop online. From hospital beds to wound care, wheelchairs to walkers, Ports is a one-stop shop for your medical supplies, and we accept insurance. We have online shopping and 2 locations to serve you, at the Airport Industrial Park and Shirley Street. We also ship to the Family Islands. Shop online and visit us on Facebook. Call Ports at 377-1771.
In the spirit of Majority Rule Day, also in recognition of another man deemed a freedom fighter, Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated held its 2nd annual MLK High School Oratorical Competition at the University of the Bahamas today. 11 high school participants competed for a $500 top prize. Speaking on the topic, "We must live together as brothers or perish together as fools." The fraternity's area director, Algernon Cargill, says, considering the challenges facing the country today, the participants represented themselves well. He also shared the significance of the day chosen.
Dr. King was a freedom fighter. He was also a brother of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, and he lived his life trying to create equality. And Martin Luther King Jr., our esteemed brother, he believed not only in ensuring that there was equality, but he believed in ensuring that there was parity in votes also. His struggles in Alabama, his struggles in Memphis, Tennessee, his struggles all around America was about advancing the cause of black people. And today, Majority Rule Day, was the day when women had their right to vote, and we have some sort of equal parity.
Time now for the poll question of the week, and this week we're asking, do you feel a lockdown should be imposed to help control both crime and COVID? You can chime in on our social media handles.
In case you missed the news or want to stay ahead, subscribe to our YouTube channel or follow us on X, TikTok, Instagram, or Facebook.
Tourism today. Bahamas tourism today.
New route, more passengers, and more heads in bed. The national flag carrier, Bahamas Air, continues to expand our 2023 visitor arrival records with its new route from Fort Lauderdale to Exuma.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been an historic year for the Bahamas. Deputy Prime Minister has taken great delight in reminding the world that over the past 9 months, we have surpassed the 7.2 million mark we experienced in 2019. And so he says that this is an historic day for the Bahamas, and every day is going to be a new record broken. So by the end of this year, we are confident that we will surpass the 8 million visitor arrival marks. This inaugural has significant economic value and benefit because each person who comes into Exuma on a plane contributes significantly, at least 28 times more than a cruise arrival. So when we look at Bahamas adding additional seat capacity to Exuma, that translates in a tangible way the heads and beds and the money into the economy of Exuma. Exuma's statistical record has been impressive. Thus far for the year, over 70,000 or just about 70,000 stopover foreign direct arrivals have come into Exuma, which causes it to outpace 2019 by 20%. And so far, Exuma trends well over 10% over 2022 figures. This is significant because Exuma remains among top 3 outside of Nassau that is driving the growth and development of our family islands.
For more tourism updates, visit Tourism Today or Bahamas.com. I'm Joshua Robbins, and this is Tourism Today.
In the Yellow Elder Garden, Ali and her cousins listened to Grammy share tales. The 70s so sweet, with themed costumes and dancing feet. Then came the brass, reaching new heights. A symphony of Bahamian nights. The 2000s, the Yellow Elder, a symbol of pride. Grammy's legacy in view as Ali dances in her Yellow Elder costume. We are alive.
At BOB, we're bringing the joy this Christmas with the lowest consumer loan rates and flexible financing for everything you need to create wonderful holiday memories. And now through January 31st, apply and be approved for a BOB consumer loan or Visa Classic credit card. And you could win up to $5,000 in cash and prizes. Apply today via bankbahamas.com or send an email to loans@bankbahamas.com. Be merry and win with BOB, your bank, our solutions.
Trouble, it might drag you down. If you get lost, you can always be found. Just know you're not alone. 'Cause I'm gonna make this place your home.
Introducing the Focal Smart Pass app that helps you to fuel up faster. Here's how it works. Download the app on the App Store or get it on Google Play and create your profile with payment details. Visit your nearest Shell station, open the app, scan the pump's QR code, select your payment amount, and begin fueling. Say goodbye to cash and cards because the Focal Smart Pass offers secure and convenient payment options right at your fingertips. Download Focal Smart Pass now and fuel up faster today.
Good to grow, keeping you in the know, keeping you in the know. God, it's good enough to eat, then it's good to grow. It's good enough to eat, then it's good to grow.
Owner of Sunset Organic Farms, Whitland Miller, began her farming career back in 2009 in her backyard. She initially studied landscaping at Auburn University in Alabama, but when she came home, she noticed a need for something greater.
Came home one summer and saw all the vegetables. The quality was terrible. I said, you know something? I'm not going to do landscaping. Just finish this up, and I'll do farming. So I went back and I did a course in sustainable vegetable production, organic vegetable production, and fruit and vegetable production. And started just using the boundaries of my yard, and anywhere that wasn't a door, I had plants.
Thus, Sunset Organic Farms was born. Miller says her farm specializes in leafy greens.
Normally we grow sunflower and microgreens. That's a specialty. We grow that have to grow inside. So I started at home, inside an air-conditioned room. When they reach a certain height, I'll bring it in the greenhouse and let it green up, and that's about 3 days, and then we sell it because I do with a sunflower brassica blend. That's my specialty. Baby bok choy and stuff like that you could put in the salad mix, because bok choy, I find out Asian vegetables do very well.
Miller adds that she normally finds plants that have more than one edible part, something she says sets her apart.
Yeah, the beans, like I said, they're the yard-long beans. They grow all year round. So let's say if the beans don't look too good, we actually take the leaves. The leaves have a nice flavor, and we use those to put in our salad mix also. We also have ring beans that we use too. That's another Asian vegetable, grow all year round. But they died out through the flood again, so we have to start all over again because they would have still been available. So we do a lot of that, and I look at a lot of specialty crops, like in the bed over here. But this first bed over there, in the front there's chrysanthemum greens. Very few people in the front, small. That's the chrysanthemum greens. And they don't grow all year round, but the leaves are edible. The Asian eat those a lot, but the flowers are edible. So of those plants, I can get the flowers and the leaves.
Miller also won the Agrarian Award for Female Farmer of the Year last year. She shares what she's been able to do since receiving her award.
I was able to purchase these, raise the bed a little bit higher but they need to go at least 16 inches because of the flooding, because the property was actually excavated for curry. So these actually be underwater. Some is a little higher.
Miller adds that the farm also prides itself in using natural and cost-effective ways of ridding their crops of pests.
We deal with organic farming, okay? So what we try to do, if you notice, I have the cilantro over there. That's for grasshopper. There are no holes in there. If I do not put those cilantro there, grasshopper will eat up everything. Then over here with the onions, with the kale, we put onions in. We put onions in here to deter the insect. So what we do, we intercrop or we companion plants straight through in order to limit the spraying.
So if you're looking to snag some of Miller's organic leafy greens or sweet native fruits, you can catch her at the Gladstone Road Farmers Market each and every Saturday. Keeping you in the know with Good to Grow, I'm Leah Cooper.
Resolve to save with the specials at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets. Chef Boyardee spaghetti and meatballs, 15 ounce, $169. So cheesy macaroni and cheese, 7 1/4 ounce, 2 for $149. First choice sugar, 4 pounds, $269. Danish spare ribs, $2.89 per pound. Fresh carrots, 2-pound bag, $2.99. Another year to save at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
Welcome to ZNS Total Sports Check, everybody. I'm Marcellus Hall. GSSA basketball action yesterday at the D.W. Davis Gym. Junior girls, S.C. McPherson up against Nash. Close game early, but that's when the Lions would turn on the offensive firepower. They just simply dominated the Sharks in the second half. Lions win easily, 48-13 for Nash. Jada Frazier outscoring the entire Sharks team. She finished with 23 points. Anthony Pettigan added 15. Lions head coach Patty Johnson happy for the win, but adding she expects more.
The performance in the beginning was pretty good. SC had two big girls, nice big girls, and they were playing very good basketball until we figured out how to run. And when we started to run, I think one of them got in foul trouble, so that gave us our leeway. But it was a pretty good game. But we have a lot of work to do, a ton of work.
In the boys' feature game, H.O. Nash Lions boys looking to follow suit. They led S.C. McPherson by 8 points in the second half. Sharks, though, determined not to go down without a fight. They would battle their way back as they not only erase the deficit, but take the lead and come away with the win. 42-39 ends up being the final for the Sharks. Kavashi Ramming led the way with 24. Jared Coakley and Anthony Pettigan, they had 12 points apiece in the losing cause. SC McPherson coach Rashawn Cunningham saying his team showed some serious heart in the comeback win.
Well, we always speak about pressure and owning it. When we entered the fourth quarter, I told them we had 6 minutes left. What are we going to do? What y'all going to do? I need all or nothing, and that's what they did. So they really fought to the end. They showed me that they have the warrior mentality in them, and to keep on fighting until the game ends.
Still with hoops, this time from the college ranks, Bahamian A.J. Storr making his presence felt for the University of Wisconsin. Storr helping to lead Wisconsin to an 11-3 record so far in the season. They are #1 in the Big Ten Conference and 15th ranked in the nation. 6'7" small forward, currently averaging 15 points a game and shooting 45% from the field. And that's your look at sports here on this Wednesday. We got your Wednesday weather just around the corner. Stay with us.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
Disney Cruise Line is back in the community, spreading cheer this holiday season. From Eleuthera, where Disney is creating its second island destination, Disney Lookout Key at Lighthouse Point, to Nassau and Abaco, where many of our Castaway Key crew members call home. Our volunteers are creating magical experiences and memorable moments for local children. Disney Cruise Line is committed to supporting youth initiatives in the Bahamas and creating lasting, positive impact in the communities we call home. Happy holidays!
Join up for life insurance. Secure the ones that you love. Join up with Family Guardian. Protection. Join the family. Join the family. Family Guardian. Protect the ones you love. A brand that you can trust. Family Guardian.
Over a decade ago, the Bahamas Striping Group of companies was birthed out of a passion to change the way we travel. From only a $5,000 grant, the tenacity and work ethic has propelled BSGC to one of the leading road management companies in the Caribbean. We pride ourselves on going the extra mile where others won't, through the use of our state-of-the-art equipment and our certified team. Although the success is commendable, the road has been long. Yet, the mission continues in striving to be a world-class organization ran by Bahamians for Bahamians. With the help of our experienced and hardworking team, we at the Bahamas Striping Group of Companies are committed to making a difference, one road at a time.
For the next 50 days, 50 lucky winners will be getting $30,000 in cash and prizes. $30,000? 30. How you win? All you have to do is purchase $25 or more in fuel or a $25 and up Rubis gift card, and you enter to win. Take a photo of your receipt, and you can upload it via our QR code, Rubis Bahamas Facebook page, or our website. Don't forget, you need your receipt in order to win. Thank you. $500 on the Visa card, I'll buy you everything, but I got to turn my light on. But I need gas in my car, and I done miss and put diesel in here, and the car say, Bob.
Jump into January and save with the specials at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets. Devon corned beef, 12 ounce, 2 for $5. Best Value whole kernel corn, 15 ounce, 99 cents. Country Barn mayonnaise, 30 ounce, $3.75. Boneless chicken breasts, $2.99 per pound. Romaine hearts, 3-pack, $4.99. Another year to save at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather, we have partly cloudy skies, the temperature at 75 degrees, relative humidity at 84%, west-northwest winds at 3 miles per hour, the barometric pressure 1,014.6 millibars, that's 29.96 inches. And your temperatures around the Family Violence this evening, they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We protected you. 69 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama, Green Tull, Key Abaco, 69. Marsh Harbour, also in Abaco, at 71 degrees. The Berry Island, 71. Allenstown, Bimini, 69. Harbor Island, they have a temperature of 75 degrees. Warmer still in Roxanne and Eleuthera at 80 degrees. Fresh Creek Central, Andros, 80, 81 in Kemp's Bayside, Andros, and Black Point, Exuma. In Artistan, Kid Island, 80 degrees. San Salvador, Rumkey, and Georgetown, Exuma runs out the 80s. And then we pick up some more 81s in Ragged Island, Clarencetown, Long Island, and Crooked Island. Betsy Bay, Maguana, 80. Actons, 80. Matthew-Tanya, Nagua, 79. And the Turks and Caicos Islands at 81 degrees. And your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Paint Setter in the Northwestern Islands tonight through tomorrow. Those winds are going to be light and variable. You're going to have flat sea conditions, beautiful boating conditions. Low tide will occur at 52 minutes past midnight. You'll have your high tide at 7:21 tomorrow morning. Now for the central and southeastern islands through Thursday, the winds will be southeast at 10 to 15 knots and the wave heights at 2 to 4 feet over the ocean. Friday, all areas, the winds become southeast. They will increase in speeds, 12 to 18 knots, the wave heights building 3 to 6 feet. So we will be posting caution flags for all areas of the Bahamas on Friday. High tide, that takes place at 8:10 in the morning with the low tide at 2:40 in the afternoon. And that's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures. And they are brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
Need it feeling out. Get a sailorman sound. Rolly gray, your boat. Need it feeling out. Get a sailorman sound. You wanna go to heaven, put the radar on your head, boy. That's the sailorman sound. If you wanna go to heaven, put the radar on your head, boy. That's the sailorman sound.
And that's going to do it for your international temperatures brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. And then we go to our forecast map. We have that frontal system which just went through the capital early this afternoon. You can see it here on our forecast map. And that will continue to move in towards the southeast, stalling for about a day or so before backing up as a warm front. And then there's a second front we anticipate will go through sometime on Sunday. Satellite pictures showing some high-level clouds associated with that frontal boundary, and that will keep the heavy cloud cover for the next day and a half. Tonight, we're looking at low clouds and then perhaps a little bit of clearing with a low temperature just around 70 degrees. And tomorrow, cloudy with spotty showers here and there. High temperature tomorrow, 79 degrees, and the extended weather forecast will unfold like this. We'll keep the clouds in the area through Thursday, but the skies will open up on Friday and Saturday. Lots of sunshine, but come Sunday, that second front pushes through. That will bring back some clouds, some showers in the forecast before things start to clear up a bit on Monday. Temperature-wise, not much change in the temperatures over the next couple of days, but after Sunday, once that second front goes through, we'll start to see some temperatures back in the 60s. But just before I signed off, my grandson, Duke Noel, celebrates a birthday today. Happy birthday, Duke. Good on.
Thanks a lot, Basil. Well, that does it for the Bahamas tonight. The National Report from all of us here at ZNS. I'm LaDon Davis. Enjoy what's left of your Majority Rule holiday.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
In the heart of the vibrant and welcoming Bahamas, where turquoise waters meet golden sands, there exists a company with a deep commitment to community. Today, we invite you on a journey to witness an extraordinary chapter in the story of the Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, a tale of compassion, unity, and the true spirit of Thanksgiving. We delve into a remarkable initiative by the Bahamas Striping Group of Companies that transcends the lanes they stripe. On a day synonymous with gratitude, they decided to paint a different kind of picture, one composed of selflessness, generosity, and the simple act of giving back.
Thanksgiving is a holiday that is traditionally celebrated in America. And in the Bahamas, we are now catching on and we're starting to celebrate Thanksgiving.
My good friend and valued client, Dominic Stirrup, approached me following a meeting we had and told me of the idea that he had of feeding 10,000 Bahamians on Thanksgiving.
Initially, it was a bit difficult because it was a lot of information to compile. There was a lot of details to put together. Had to figure out how to get it done. But at the end, it was worth it. At the end, it gave me a heart of gratitude to know that our company is reaching out to so many persons and that we were able to provide a hot meal on Thanksgiving Day. So it invoked the emotion of gratitude for me.
Our company has a simple philosophy, open hands. What do open hands mean? If you keep your hands closed, nothing comes in, nothing goes out. If you keep your hands open, a lot of things comes in, a lot of things goes out. We cannot expect to be a successful company without blessing our community and blessing our country. So just common sense that as a company, we will be actively involved in our community. It was always a part of our goal to make a difference in our country, not just from a striping standpoint, an employment standpoint, a road safety standpoint, but make a significant difference in our country.
Over the years, Bahamas Striping has partnered with us
to provide food for the thousands of people that we help on a monthly basis. But around this particular time of the year, of course, November being the month of Thanksgiving is especially important, and it is their intention to feed thousands of people on that day.
As a good corporate citizen, we felt it was a great initiative and that we had no difficulty partnering with them in accomplishing this objective of his. And so immediately I told him that we would be on board. Just let me know in what capacity he would like to see us involved, and that he did, and we came aboard.
Well, we see it as an opportunity to share in the ministry, not just simply of the spiritual needs of persons, but also to assist with the physical need. When Christ was on earth, he used that very example of feeding, helping poor. He was always compassionate towards the poor. And so with our sharing with the Bahamas Striping Feeding Initiative, we see that as an opportunity to be the instrument in the spiritual arena to assist those who are in need.
What I really love about this feeding initiative is that it will allow me as a student to provide my services to those who may be less fortunate or wondering where their next meal is coming from.
Here at Aquinas College, we are simply elated to partner with the Bahamas Striping Group of companies for this feeding initiative. A part of our mission statement is to produce citizens that are not only academically sound, but also loving and can care for their fellow man.
Today, many students, young people especially, are often selfish, and it gives us the chance to give back to others.
Aquinas College is a Catholic Christian high school. Therefore, it was a very easy decision to partner with the Bahamas Striping Group of companies on this feeding initiative. At Aquinas, we believe that it is important to teach our students to be Christian leaders as well as loving persons.
How does one go about displaying the characteristics of a Christian leader? Well, we must be committed to service, meaning ready and able to help our brothers and sisters around us.
We want our students to know that at Aquinas, we are not just concerned with facts and information, but we are also concerned with their formation. And this is a perfect example that it is important to give back.
The initiative for Let's Make a Difference came about in January of 2023. I was at a Kentucky Fried Chicken in Prince Charles, and there was a lady there with 4 or 5 students. I thought it was her kids. Come to find out she was a teacher. And she ordered 4-piece, 5-piece, where everybody get 1 piece of chicken. So I asked her, do you mind if I pay your bill? And that simple expression on her face made me feel good, because it was just the idea is she might be having a hard time, a hard day. And I guess made a difference, just made a small difference of paying, I think, under $16, $17. And that idea made it went further than that. How could we make a difference throughout the whole country?
As a company, when we look at where we got started with a grant of $5,000. So we always had the mindset of giving back to the community. And as we grew and we began to have our own initiatives of giving back, it became like a core philosophy of the group of companies to give back, to be a part of our community. So we always seek to put our best foot forward as a corporate citizen and give back to the communities, especially the islands that we work on. As a company, we're not just Nassau-centric. We travel through the Bahamas doing work. So we always like to leave a mark, or a special mark, on every island that we go to.
Bahamas Striping did not do it all on its own. We were able to tap into existing networks, the churches, the Bahamas Feeding Network, the Rotary Club, the Kiwanis Club. So what it was, it's more like a symbiotic relationship where we had our part to play and they had their part to play, and then together we were greater than the sum total of individuals. So it really was a team effort across the board, across the islands. And so I think that's the beauty of the program,
that it wasn't any one company or organization. It was a multitude of entities that got together to create an experience for various persons across the country.
My involvement in the 10K feeding initiative was the coordinator. I was the one who reached out to a lot of the vendors, reached out to a lot of the sponsors, made sure that everything was in place, phone calls, emails, made sure the deliveries were readily available and shipped out through, of course, our sponsors and partners.
A lot of work actually goes into organizing events like this, especially, with the sheer number of persons involved. On a logistic level, we have to look at boat schedules, we have to look at product vendors, we have to look at persons who are going to be able to prepare and distribute meals. So it really takes a lot of work just being able to manage this type of process.
I mean, even if you're just doing 10,000 meals in the Providence, that would have been a challenge. But when you're doing 10,000 meals over 6 or 7 islands, that adds another layer of complexity to the project because, you have to get persons on those islands who are prepared to cook the food and distribute the food, and then you need to get the material to them in a timely fashion because a lot of the food has, it's perishable. So you can't just put the turkey on the boat and hope that it gets there frozen.
The main staple of the Thanksgiving meal is ham and turkey. So, of course, we are contributing, we're purchasing a good portion of hams and turkeys to be prepared by the various other people who are assisting in this program, the Bahamas Feeding Network, to prepare and distribute the meals. So we will be providing hams and turkeys towards the initiative.
So my involvement in Bahamas Striping's initiative was I was the lead, I was chairman to say, and getting everyone together, all the different civic organizations on the island of Grand Bahama, so that we can come together and work as one to really materialize this initiative and this goal that was set by Bahamas Striping Group of Companies.
So on Thanksgiving, Manuel will be responsible for preparing 500 meals. So I'm going to bring all my staff, all the equipment that I will need to help facilitate and ensure that the meals come out on time and certainly provide quality meals for our guests who will be receiving the meals.
We're looking at providing 500 persons with a meal on Thanksgiving. We will be doing the distribution, the preparation and the distribution of those items to all those who come to share in that initiative.
They're partnering with us. They're using our headquarters as the hub from which we will then send out groceries and meats, etc., to the various islands and the various places that we partner with every month. About 120 partners we have every month that we give groceries to, and they, in turn, some of them cook for the various persons, as well as they distribute the dry groceries that we give them.
On Thanksgiving Day, there was a spirit of excitement. And again, I have to use the word gratitude. Excitement to know that that we're coming together, that everything came together. At the end of the day, of course, a spirit of gratitude. We were delighted to see that our partners that promised, that pledged, that they came through for us. And at the end of the day, everything came together and the work paid off. So definitely, we are grateful.
We would think that the persons on the receiving end of this initiative would be the persons to express gratitude. But for me personally, it was a pleasure to just be able to serve our community and serve other people that are, at least for now, in a situation where they may not be able to provide this hot meal for themselves or for their families. I actually had the opportunity on Monday to go around to each of the feeding centers here in Nassau. You know, we participated in preparing the meals, packaging the meals, distributing the meals at various centers. So that in itself was amazing, you know, and I think that's what Thanksgiving is really about. Myself, on a personal level, I was able to go back to Palmdale Primary. That's my alma mater. I graduated from Palmdale Primary in 1998. You know, of course, a lot of the teachers there they're gone, you know, but it was so fulfilling to go back there and to be able to serve them in that type of way.
So on the actual Thanksgiving Day, when we would have been distributing these foods to those persons who were in need, I can't begin to explain the feeling. It was so much mixed emotions because we had worked so hard. My team and I worked so hard to solicit the contributions and then to really get it to the persons who were cooking and those trying to get it organized to get it to the persons who needed it the most in those communities.
I was really pleased of what, like how our team executed this initiative. When you look at distributing food in 10 different islands of the Bahamas, that takes a lot of collaboration and really being on point and pulling everything together. But I think what made it a bit easier is the involvement of the feeding network. Personally, I was very impressed on working with them, how their operation is set up and how they distribute their food throughout the island. So that was an eye-opener for me.
The Bahama was the first major sponsor that came on board with 1,000 meals. So that Bahama partnership motivated us that, hey, we can do this. So I personally would have to thank Robert Sands and the Bahama Foundation for really giving us the motivation and letting us know that we could achieve the 10,000.
Hopefully that other customers, other persons can be able to come on board and support such initiative. I believe that we can be God-giving, and this is the least that we can do for our fellow brothers. You know, it's to give those less unfortunate ones or provide for them a nice meal during such an important time.
I think all corporate citizens should utilize those opportunities because the Bible speaks to the fact that to whom much is given, much is required. And we are our brother's keeper. We should be the extension of God in the earth. And those persons, like Bahamas Striping, have always been those kinds of persons who assisted in those needs. When they have received much, they've been able to share that with other persons.
We have done a Thanksgiving initiative for a few years now, but of course, on a smaller scale. We have created a template, you know, for next year. This event actually garnered more success, you know, than we thought it was going to. We actually exceeded our expectation on this particular project.
The hope is that it will motivate others, other similar corporate citizens, to get involved. If not this time around, maybe next year, to become involved in this program, because it's a worthwhile effort, and it's one, as I said earlier, that will have immediate impact, and it's wide-ranging.
One of the beautiful things about this Let's Make a Difference initiative was I believe in my lifetime that I could remember, this was the first time that you had all of these civic groups that came together for one goal. And we worked together so beautifully to make sure that the goal was met and manifested. In addition to that, we had to reach out to community leaders, whether it was food stores, those persons who own food stores, those persons who would have had funds that they just wanted to donate. It was so beautiful just to see everybody come together to help somebody that was in need.
We usually think of only corporate bodies to be giving things, but there are many individuals who are giving. There are also many individuals who could give. And I would like us to start off with our own children. We must start it for ourselves, of course, but also with our children to teach them the gift of giving. And when we do that, we bring them up to know that many of them are blessed beyond measure. And it is our duty to teach them, look, as you have these things, it is your duty to help somebody else.
And so I encourage us to always look to do the part that would be to assist our people with those with the greatest need. Nothing wrong with showing a little love and kindness. The Bahamas Striping Group of Companies and their principals, I know Mr. Stirrup, Dominic Stirrup, spoke about how he came about, how this idea was birthed. I just want to say that I believe it was a God-given idea. And one of the things Dominic always says to me is, God bless you to bless others. And I know that this company is big on giving back to the community. I want to say thank you for allowing us to be a part of this initiative. The whole thing was about a community coming together, not to do it for gain, to do it to make money. It was about giving of yourself. And it was a good feeling and it was the right thing to do. And I want to say thank you. Hats off to Bahamas Striping Group of Companies for this initiative. And I want to say thank you for allowing us to play a small part in making a difference in our country and on our island, Grand Bahama.
They are very generous individuals, and just want to encourage them to continue to do the work they're doing. And when they're successful, they ensure that they give back to the community.
Thank you on behalf of the thousands of people that will benefit. We say, from the Bahamas Feeding Network, the heartiest, warmest, thank you very, very much.
I want to continue to encourage our community. I know we talk about a lot of times you see so much need and, how often will we be having to help the poor, or will we ever be able to help the poor? But as long as those who are in need is among us, I believe it is our duty as citizens, as corporate citizens, as community leaders, as fellow Bahamians, to assist our fellow Bahamians who might find themselves down and out, who might find themselves in need.
I would like to thank all of the partners that helped us in this initiative. The Feeding Network, we also partnered with Prophet Lawrence Roll, the Great Commission Ministries, Bible Truth Ministries. Bahama was a great sponsor as well. But what we also did was we reached out to some of our international suppliers, and they also came on board and either give monetary donations or donations of food items. Also BAIC. BAIC was a great help as well, as they provided all of the local grown produce for the initiative. So there was a lot of collaborations with a lot of companies as well as individuals that all came together, worked together to make this initiative successful.
Like, oh boy, we did it. Seeing food being prepared, seeing volunteers going to Aquinas and seeing the students who cook the meal and preparing the meal and going to different churches. It's good to see when the plan comes together. I think it was the A team. It's good to see when the plan comes together. But more importantly, to see the impact that we did. To end our Let's Make a Difference initiative, we fed 10,370 plates of food throughout the Bahamas. Grand Bahama was budgeted for 2,000 plates. They did close to 3,000 plates. So it's impressive that as a group, it's not so much Bahamas Striping Group of Company, but our partners from the States who supported us, our partners from Jamaica who supported us, our partners from DR who supported us, and of course our partners in the Bahamas. We was very happy that we actually went over our goal of 10,370. That's a good number. Our company offers a simple philosophy, open hands. What do open hands mean? If you keep your hands closed, nothing comes in, nothing goes out. If you keep your hands open, a lot of things comes in, a lot of things goes out. We cannot expect to be a successful company without blessing our community and blessing our country.
My good friend and valued client, Dominic Stirrup, approached me following a meeting we had and told me of the idea that he had of feeding 10,000 Bahamians on Thanksgiving.
There was a lot of details to put together, had to figure out how to get it done. But at the end, it was worth it. At the end, it gave me a heart of gratitude to know that our company is reaching out to so many persons.
We invite you on a journey to witness an extraordinary chapter in the story of the Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, a tale of compassion, unity, and the true spirit of Thanksgiving.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Everyone has a legacy to create our own.